If Democrats are to retake the House come November, they're going to have to win over voters in communities where for years they've struggled to compete. And one of those areas is rural western North Carolina. That's where a fifth-generation farmer sees a rare opportunity to make inroads with voters frustrated about rising costs from the president's tariffs and this war with Iran. And now he's running for Congress, taking on not only a Republican incumbent, but also his own party's reputation. Democratic candidate Jamie Ager joins me now. It's good to see you, Jamie. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I want to start with sort of the story and the spirit of your campaign and what you think makes it different, because what you're doing is you're running and telling a story that's not just about Chuck Edwards, your opponent, but is also about a need for the Democratic Party to take a little bit of a look at itself and reassess the way in which it's connected with people. And how do you see that sort of case you're making, and how do you repair relationships with people who over the last several cycles may have come to feel like you and your party, you have nothing to do with me?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I've never done this before. This is my first time on one of these shows, and I'm from Western North Carolina. My family's been in agriculture for a long time. I was, my grandfather was in Congress back in the 80s, and I was a little frustrated with all the political system, which I think everybody shares that frustration. And that didn't, my own party as well as the Republican Party. And I said, you complain about that or you can do something about it. And to me, the Democratic Party has always stood for working folks in our communities. And that's the kind of message that I just keep repeating over and over and over again as I travel throughout Western North Carolina and talk about how we need to focus our efforts on recovering from Hurricane Helene. We had a devastating hurricane down there back in September of 2024, and we're still way behind on getting the money needed to recover from all that. And so, yeah, I just feel like I understand rural America well. I'm a patriot. I love this country, and I want folks to do well. And right now we need better leaders in this country from both political parties who are willing to dig in and solve big problems. We've got a lot of problems that we've kicked the can for many, many years. And I just want to be somebody that's willing to get in there and work hard and try to solve these problems, because we got plenty more coming.
I want to dig into Hurricane Helene and its lasting impact for a moment, because when I was a correspondent, I covered Hurricane Helene. I was there. I spent weeks traveling through the district that you now hope to serve. And I still receive text messages from the people that I met all along the way who say that this hasn't been solved yet. We haven't heard from this person. This person doesn't answer our phone calls. That hurt is still so present. And I know that this wasn't just something that you knew about as a person who lived in the area, but you also had significant damage to your own farm. I think we have some video of one of your pigs on your farm actually rushing to try to get to safety. And people can see it there, just, how challenging and chaotic that was for days. But also you can imagine from just seeing the amount of water there, how much the recovery effort was going to require after the fact, when you consider the damage to people's homes, their property, their roads, infrastructure. Tell me the status of how the community there in Western North Carolina is doing, and do they feel like their current congressman has done enough for them?
Yeah, we got devastated by that storm, and I was right in the middle of it. And, at the first few days, nobody had any cell phone service. Roads were washed out. We had trees down on power lines, no electricity. I mean, it was just pure chaos. Even watching those videos here on the screen gives me a little bit of PTSD. And whenever it rains hard anymore, everybody at home agrees. We all wake up and can't go back to sleep anymore, because it's the memories of that storm and how devastating it was. Not only on infrastructure, right? We lost roads, we lost bridges, we lost communities. We also lost a lot of people and friends and neighbors in that storm, and it was pretty devastating for so many folks all over our community. And the total cost of the storm was close to $60 billion. And our Congressman, Chuck Edwards, they have all the levers of power up in Washington, D.C., and we're still receive less than 15% of those funds in Western North Carolina. We got folks living in campers, living in tents, living on people's couches. There's a whole lot of work that still needs to be done in our region. A lot of net worth just evaporated overnight for so many folks in our communities, and a lot of misinformation and misunderstanding about what to do. It was unclear. FEMA folks heard a number of times that it would have been better if FEMA just said you're on your own, because the waiting around and filling out the forms and all that, and then getting nothing and not having much communication and being confused was devastating for so many folks. And so we need better leadership to help get through these kind of problems.
I want to ask you about your opponent, Republican Chuck Edwards. You know, he's a very strong fundraiser. He's a known entity in the area. He travels around the district. He's gone to these sort of far-flung corners and met with remote residents. He, of course, is also right now under an investigation by the House Ethics Committee for allegations dealing with sexual harassment and a potentially hostile work environment. And so, you know, on the one hand, you might think of that last piece there and think that you have a very easy case to make. But also, given what we've seen happen in politics over the last several years, I'm not so sure that allegations like that actually stop a voter from still thinking someone is their guy, the person who's going to fight the hardest for them. So when you think about his long-term sort of relationship with people in the region, how do you come in and say, I can do this job better?
You know, I'm an entrepreneur. We have a farming operation, so I'm very familiar with getting my hands dirty and doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done. I'm not scared to roll up my sleeves and get to work. I'm much more comfortable on the farm than I am in the big cities. But I also love our communities deeply, and I think we need leaders who are willing to show up. And after Helene, Chuck never really showed up much. We went to a town hall, and he got yelled at quite a bit over there. But then really sort of hid behind teletown halls, social media posts, et cetera. And to me, we needed a leader who would not only fight for the money to get our infrastructure back in place, but to fight and support folks who lost a home and give a hug to a neighbor who lost a home or lost a loved one. I've been all over the district, talked to so many folks in our community that are a little frustrated that he hadn't been around, didn't show up. And I always joke that sometimes when you're in a leadership role, you get yelled at a little bit after people are frustrated and angry after that, and that's okay. I'll be the kind of leader that gets yelled at sometimes, and I'm okay with that.
Well, North Carolina Democratic candidate for U.S. Congress, Jamie Ager, thank you. I know you said at the beginning of the interview that, you know, you don't do interviews like this. You haven't been on shows like this too often, but you are welcome back during the course of the race. I'm sure we'll have more to talk about, so thanks for joining me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right. And we should note we did reach out to the Chuck Edwards campaign and offered invitation to come on here, but we have not yet heard back.